Okie dokie, here we go. We're going to be doing a no impact into your foot or ankle 32-minute HIIT workout. Make sure you've got some space, some water. I've got two 10-pound weights. You don't have to use these, but you can. We're doing 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. So if you want to set that for your Fitbit, you can, but whatever you want. So here we go for our warm-up. We're just going to be sitting up nice and tall. Our fingertips are towards us. You can use your hands kind of either direction, squeezing those abs. We're just going to roll those shoulders, warming up those abs, kind of keeping that pelvic floor engaged, just rolling out those shoulders. You can reach your arms forward if this is too much on your wrists. You get a similar and really kind of almost the same warm-up, but we really just want to make sure we're warming up our shoulders either way. I'm going to tuck my tailbone under to initiate this movement, curling those abs, warming up the pelvic floor and abdominals, curling down and right back up. Now you can always keep your hands forward, kind of holding your knees if this is too much again on those wrists, or you can just do a traditional sit-up laying on your back. These are great options, but otherwise we're just going to keep on going with those nice curling under. Now for our warm-up, we're not necessarily going to be doing 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. You can warm up the ankles either laying on your back or up in this nice position, still working those abs, flexing and pointing the foot, and flex and point, warming up that ankle. Little to no impact, but just feeling like we are getting a little bit of movement and mobilization through that ankle joint. Now, I'm going to still use those abs as I come up, and I'm going to curl down, and then I'm going to curl up using my abs, trying not to use my hip flexors, so I can use my hands behind my thighs or on top of my knees, or I don't even have to come all the way up. I can just do little traditional kind of sit-ups, but I want to make sure whatever I'm doing, I'm not straining my neck. I'm really using those low abs. As I exhale, up. I always like to exhale in the most kind of challenging part, so just make sure you're using those abs, using those core muscles. I feel like we're doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and move out, and we're gonna start to kind of head into our kind of a little bit more intense series. So here we go. Alrighty, we're getting ready. Our first set, we're gonna take our two bicep weights, and we're gonna pump up and down. Here we go, 40 seconds on. Little bicep presses. Here we go. Now make sure you're really using the core muscles, you're really using those abs to support the body, and you're pressing up and down. Now again, you don't have to use 10-pound weights. You can use whatever you want. I personally like the 10-pound. It's heavy enough that I get that burn, but it's not so heavy that it kind of burns me out where I start to feel like I'm not stable in those shoulders. At any point, if you're feeling tension in your neck and shoulders, go ahead and back off the weight and just use your arms, just moving them however feels right to you. Exhaling on the way up. Here we go for our break. 2, 1, and ooh, let's take that 20 seconds off. Now I'm going to show the next exercise. I'm going to move those out of the way. So our next fun exercise is we're just going to do nice little sit-ups. Just get yourself ready, and we're going to do those. So just take your time. You're going to draw those abs in. Make sure everything feels really good. Here we go for our lovely sit-ups. All right, 2, 1, exhale. Really feel that nice burn. Pull the pelvic floor in. Don't push on the neck, but really flex from the ribs. Feeling that nice, strong, low ab connection. Keep on bringing that pelvic floor nice and tight. Now, if you're feeling really keen, you can always bring your legs to tabletop, but I just want to find that nice big burn. Since we're going for kind of a time set, it's going to be a little bit more important that I don't pull on my neck, I don't tighten my butt, but I'm really working with kind of in my own range of motion, keeping it nice and strong. Here we go, we're almost there. Alrighty, and 2, 1, and here we are, next set. Ooh, take a break. So our next fun thing we're going to be doing is heels, hips, shoulders, head, hand on the hip, lifting up, squeezing that armpit. Now, you're just going to be lifting up and down. Now, if that's too much, you can always just sort of like, just keep the hip on the floor and not lift it. You're just lifting those ribs. But here we are, heading in and go. If you want, whoop, get myself going, here we are. I'm a little bit behind. Here we are, squeezing as you lift those hips. Squeeze the armpit like you're army crawling towards your head, so I'm not over activating my neck and shoulders. I can also look down, but I want to make sure either way I'm keeping my jaw nice and soft. As I lift my hips, pull my ribs in. Nice strong abs. Just keep on finding that strong core work. Here we go. We're getting really close, guys. Squeeze those armpits. Again, if it starts to trigger your neck or your shoulder too much, you can keep those hips on the floor and give yourself a break. Alrighty. All right, we're gonna do that on the other side. Again, it's heels, hip, shoulder, head. Everything's alignment. My elbows in line with my hips, my hands in line with my knees. And again, it's that nice little lift or pulling in of the ribs, drawing the core in. All right, no tension in the neck. You can always look down. And here we go, lift it up to go. Yes. Squeeze and lift. Now I'm really feeling the connection between my lats and my hips so that I'm not triggering my neck. I can look down again, keeping my jaw soft, but I really want to squeeze my armpit, pulling myself towards my head, pushing down through my thighs. Now, if you're extremely keen, I feel like you could lift your top knee a little bit, but absolutely no pressure. Again, we're going for time and for good form, not for doing, 10. We're doing as many as we can in this short period of time, but really trying to keep our form, not pushing up into our neck, keeping those abs tight. Here we go, we're almost there. And yes, here we go, take that break. Whew, alrighty, I'm gonna flip back around. I'm gonna draw my abs in. I can hold underneath my hamstrings or onto my knees, and I'm gonna curl down and up, initiating from those abs. Nice, you can always take it with a weight if you'd like, and give yourself a little push at the top, but whatever feels right for you. Oh gosh, here we go, not much of a break this time. 2, 1, and here we go, down and exhale, curl it up. Now, again, if either of those are feeling like you're triggering either your neck or your hip flexors, go ahead and just take a traditional sit-up. You do not have to worry about keeping the hip flexors like too tight. You can always turn the legs out. You want to just worry about keeping those abs controlled and the shoulders out of the ears. So reaching those hands up. I'm really trying to find a nice control also on the way down, so I'm not like overloading my shoulders or my neck, but I'm really using my abs. Now, I'm just using one of my 10-pound weights. If you are really keen, you could do more. Here we go. Alrighty. And break. Alrighty. Take that second. Again, we're gonna draw those abs in. You can take this here on your elbows with your legs up into scissors, or you can be back on your back. You can also take them here as little stags or here as stags. We're just gonna focus on those abs, and we're really gonna do this nice and strong. Here we go. Change and 20 seconds. You can take them scissors or toe taps. We're just using those abs and using those legs. And I'm not collapsing in my shoulders, so I'm still pushing down. So I'm also really working those ab muscles. I'm also really working my legs. So I'm keeping that nice strong core. Kicking and kicking, keeping that nice strong abs. Again, I'm not trying not to load my low back. I feel that Kegel, I feel that pelvic floor tightening. I feel everything really working. This is sort of fun. I feel a little bit like a can-can dancer, but if a can-can dancer was gonna get really, really sweaty. We're almost there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're done. Yeah. All right, here we are, all done. Now, we're gonna take those nice little twists side to side. You can kind of find that little press. That should feel really good. Now, you can also take this standing here. This is gonna be kind of our only one standing. We're here, and you're gonna take a little bit of a twist, feeling that nice connection, and we're gonna find that nice strong twist. Here we go, and start. Here we are, 40 seconds on. Now, I really am using my abs. Again, at any point if this is too much, back it off. Take a deep breath. Find this as it feels good. You can also turn out if you want to feel those booty burns. I'm keeping it nice and parallel. I'm really trying to push from my abs up. Again, resisting on the way down, so I'm not just throwing weights around. You can also always pop your weights down. You can grab some 2 weights. You can grab some 3 weights. You can grab some 4-pound weights. Whatever feels right for you. Just feeling that nice push and pull from the abs. We're almost there. Oh, I'm gonna have to take a break. 2, 1, and breathe it out. Move those out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna very gently come back down to our backs. And we're gonna add nice an oblique twist. Now, if you want, you can have your knees up, and you can also do a little toe tap, but we're almost there. Here we go. 2, 1. And here we are. Take it as you want it, as that nice little twist. Here we go. For 40 seconds on. Oh yeah, feel that burn. Now I'm really using those low abs, keeping that nice support. Again, you do not have to do the legs and the arms at the same time or the upper body. Choose whatever works right for you. Getting that nice, strong core connection. pulling that pelvic floor tight. 15 to go. Nice. And again, if you're ever feeling any kind of strain, take it off. Take it where you need it. This is your workout, your time. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is our next one. Is going to be a little pulse up, or you can take it as a pulse here, or you can take your hands behind the nape of the neck. You can also float the heels up, but we're just going to be there in just a second. Are almost there. 9. Breathing. Bring your legs up to tabletop. Pulse the hands up, shoulders down, and here we go. Pulse it up. Here we go. 40 seconds on. Pulling those abs in. Again, deep core. Pull the pelvic floor tight. Everything's working like crazy. Tucking that tailbone under. Squeezing the inner thighs. All the things are happening. Now, if you're feeling, again, tension in the neck, keep the mouth soft. Keep the jaw soft. You can always pop those hands behind your neck to support the head. But we're almost there. We're halfway there. Oh, gosh. You should really feel a lot of burn into the pelvic floor. Again, you're squeezing those low abs, making sure you're not loading the low back. There's all of that fun, deep pelvic floor working that's happening. Breathing. So much fun. This is the most fun you've ever had. Oh my God. And release. Very nice. Nice. Again, I'm going to grab one of my weights. You don't have to. We're going to be lifting our hips and pulsing our arms up. You can also keep the arms up, or you don't have to use the weight at all. You can just lift the hips, whatever feels right for you. Make sure you're hip distance apart, nice and parallel feet, nice and parallel shoulders, shoulders down. Here we go, and lift it up. Exhale, 40 seconds on. You can keep the hands overhead, or again, you can bend the arms and raise the arms. And again, you're moving slowly. You're scooping the tailbone under, hinging from the hips, finding that pelvic floor connection, finding that deep low ab connection. Everything is working super hard. Breathing gently. Exhale, pushing it up. All of that nice strong ab work. Nice. So I'm not just hinging at the waist. I'm hinging at the hip and kind of at the thigh joint, keeping my nice parallel. Now, if I was super crazy keen and I had it, I could put a ball between my knees at any point. Whew, thank goodness that is over. 20 seconds off. Here we go. Always get water, always rest. Nice. Now, I'm going to come to that nice all fours position. I'm going to scoop my tailbone. I'm going to bring one hand up and then the other hand up. Now, if this is too much, you can always take it just down into your elbows and take your hand to your shoulder. That's a nice alternative. Or you can come all the way down, all the way up. Now, if you wanted to hold a full plank for this, you could put a foam roller underneath your ankles. Or you could stay up on your hands. Either way is fine. We're all headed, we're doing it. Here we go. You could also take a plank all the way like this. Oh man, we're halfway through those 40 seconds. Here we go. Reaching up. 18, 17. Pull those abs tight. Again, take what feels right for you. You can be on the knees. You can be on your elbows. Just try not to cross the ankles. It's really bad for the knee joints. Just keeping that nice, big. Here we are, 2 and 1. Holy moly. I'm going to come down. I'm going to make a fist, tucking my tailbone under, squeezing my abs for the next one. I'm going to come forward, kind of working the shoulders. This is kind of a fun one. You can always do this here, pointing and flexing the foot. Again, you could slide a foam roller underneath your ankles. But here we are, 2, 1, and here we go. You can also take your hips forward and back. This is a nice alternative. Whatever feels right for you, here we are we've got 34 seconds left, pointing and flexing. I also really find this just quite challenging. We've been doing a lot of shoulders already. This is a nice one where you can hinge here, adding a little bit of work from the hips. You can also just hold your plank or just move forward and back, whatever feels right for you today. Here we are. Alrighty, here we go. 34 till 10. Oh gosh, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holy smokes. Alrighty. I'm going to flip back around. I'm going to have my fingers again, whichever way feels right for you. And you can reach up and touch the opposite foot with your hand. But if you'd like, the more advanced version is you're going to be up, just depending on where your spice level is today. This one's kind of fun. It works your balance. It works all the things. Here we go. And tap, and tap, and tap. Now, I do think that this can be a little bit hard on the wrists, especially if you've done all the plank work beforehand. So you can also just keep your bum on the floor and alternate tap. You'll still get a lot of ab work. You'll just get a little bit less pressure into the wrists and a little bit less work in the shoulders. And I don't know about you, but my shoulders are feeling pretty fatigued at this point, but we are almost halfway there. So tap and tap, tap and tap and tap. Oh, I'm losing a shoelace. Here we go. Breathe and breathe. Here we go, 2, 1, and I'm gonna just tie my shoelace real quick. Alrighty. We're gonna flip over. We're gonna keep that nice connection. I have my feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and I'm gonna take a nice little extension exercise. And I'm just lifting up. Now, I don't have to lift my head. I can always just do my arms, but whatever feels right for you. Here we go, 2, 1, and here we are. Bringing it up. Arms extend, right back down. Now, as I reach my arms overhead, I'm not letting my shoulders come overhead. I'm keeping my shoulders down away from my ears, pulling my abs tight so that I'm keeping the support, so I'm not loading my low back. Squeezing those glutes, finding that nice strong control. Yes, yes, yes. Pull those abs in, pull the shoulders down. Again, I recommend keeping the jaw nice and soft so you're not creating excessive kind of mouth and neck tension. You will feel the back of the neck work because we are lifting the head. But if you keep that jaw soft, hopefully you won't load it too intensely. We are almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holy smokes, we are done. We're gonna flip back around. I'm gonna grab those weights. I hope you're ready for some more arms. So fun. We're gonna do little cross punches. You can come down and little cross punch, cross punch. Now, you do not have to use the weights. You can take this here and just cross punch, just depending on where you're at. I have 10-pound weights, which is a little bit hard. Here we go into our 40 seconds. So if you have something under 10 pounds, you might like this a little bit better. I'm gonna just opt for no weights for this one. Now, if you had like wrist weights that were like 3 pounds or 2 pounds, that might be ideal. But since we're just using those 10 pounds today, I think I'm just gonna opt for a heavy oblique twist. Now, if this is loading your back, I'm gonna highly recommend you just do nice oblique sit-ups, just coming up and twisting side to side. It's kind of a fun alternative. We're almost there. 2, 1, and breathe it out. Whew! We're gonna go ahead and move those out of the way. I'm gonna grab just one of my weights. I'm gonna have that nice strong core. I'm gonna grab that other one. Keep it nice and strong, and I'm gonna reach my arm back, just a little tricep swing. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be swinging it, actually. I'm just a gentle lift. Here we go. And it's a gentle tap, tap. Now, I'm trying not to lock my left arm. You can see my left elbow's a little hyperextended here. My elbows are wicked hyperextended, so this still actually feels really bent for me. Again, if this is too much on your knees, you can always grab a cushion or a pillow and pop it underneath your knees, or put another pillow between your inner thighs. It's gonna help with kind of keeping that protection around the patella, keeping that jaw soft as you tap your arm back, and tap, and tap. Really finding that nice strong control. We're almost there. We're almost there, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Holy moly. Whew, now I'm gonna do the other side. Nice, so again, I can come down here on my elbow and kick it as a little tricep press, but I'm gonna stay up on my hand if I can. It gives me a little bit more range of motion. Here we go, and keep those abs tight, try not to sink in the core, pull everything nice and tight, pulling everything nice and strong, and tap it back. Here we go for our 40 seconds on. Again, I'm pulling my abs in, I'm squeezing my armpit of my opposite arm, so like my right arm is really nice and still connected, so I'm not sinking. Trying to keep my shoulders nice and square. Again, you can always put a cushion under your knees and a pillow between your legs, squeezing it to protect your patella, but let's just keep that nice movement. And exhale, we're almost there, 18 to go. Breathing gently. Whew, I can already kind of feel that burn. Alrighty, and release. Ooh, I definitely am feeling that burn today. All right, I'm gonna come back down. Again, I'm squeezing my armpit, opposite arm and leg, and I'm gonna create a little bit of a kick. I'm still using my abs to keep that nice control, so I'm not loading my low back. I can always come down to both elbows, but I like to have my hand out to the side that's the same as my leg. It gives me a little bit more room. Here we are, 40 seconds on, kicking that leg. Now, if you were very keen as well, you could always put ankle weight on for this. But I find I get quite enough work in both my hamstring and my glute on my kicking leg, as well as my glute on my stabilizing leg. I don't really need much more as I hit that nice big breath. We're halfway there. Here we go, squeezing it, those glutes, getting that nice strong ab connection. Everything is really working. 10, here we go. Squeeze that armpit of that bottom hand so that you're not kind of loading the neck. You're gonna keep everything really working. 2, 1, release. Other side. Now we're gonna do the same exercise, but we're gonna squeeze that armpit again. I have my hand up. I'm again not whacking the leg around, but I'm using lots of control, using my abs, squeezing my bum, not wiggling it around like a crazy person. We're almost there. And power on. And here we go. Kick it up. Draw those abs in. So fun. I'm really using those abs to keep that nice and supported. Again, keep that head in alignment, keep the jaw soft, kicking, trying not to whack into my waist, really trying to use my abs to support this mobilization of the hip. This is great because it builds a little bit of flexibility as well as strength. We're almost there. 8. We're almost there. And release. Holy moly. Rock and roll. We're going to switch around. Now, we're going to kind of basically come back to that same position, but we're going to tap from side to side on our mat. So you can make this as big or as small, because again, now we're mobilizing the hip, and you'll feel a little bit of mobilization also into the low back, but we're going to really work nice and hard. Here we go. Tap it out, side to side, squeezing. I really like this one because I feel like I'm working my shoulders, but I'm also really working my hips both to mobilize and stabilize. So right now I'm mobilizing my right hip and kind of creating stability in my left hip. This is a really lovely and fairly intense exercise as we keep on going, working it out, breathing it up, keeping it going, keeping that strong abs. I love this because I definitely always feel like, whoa, in my bum. We're almost there. 10. We're almost there. Squeeze those abs. Keep it going. Keep it going. Yes, and release. Very nice. We're going to switch it up. Other side. Again, it's that nice mobilization side to side, keeping it as big or as small as feels appropriate for you. That's what it looks like. Here we go. Alrighty, we're almost there. 7. You'll feel that booty burn. 6, 5. Here we go. And tap it out side to side. Feeling that nice strong core. Tap it from side to side. Pull those abs in. Keeping everything really working. Everything should be nice and strong. Everything is pulling in. Everything is keeping those abs connected, keeping the shoulders down, keeping the jaw soft, working those bust muscles, feeling that little bit of glute burn, feeling those abs. I'm already starting to pretty much feel that nice fatigue in those glutes. Again, take this as big or small as feels right to you. You're almost there. We are 10 seconds away. Just keep on breathing. Oh yeah, epic music, and here we go. Take a little break, 20 seconds off. Woo! Feeling that nice, strong connection. We're gonna move right back into some abs. So we're gonna come right back down to our back. Now you can always take this as a gentle little sit-up, but we're gonna do, again, like a scissor kick, just like what we did earlier. And you can always keep it as a stag as well. So you don't have to keep the legs straight. And now if you wanna add an oblique twist, go for it. Here we are, blasting off, finding those abs, finding that core. Again, you can always do the legs or the arms or the upper body separately. You don't have to do both. You can always keep it as a stag. You don't have to keep the legs straight. We are just finding that big, deep core connection as we breathe, as we find that big, strong reach through each leg. Breathing. We're almost there. 10 seconds. Breathing it out. Finding that connection, finding those abs. We are rocking, we are rolling. And done. Whew. Alrighty, let's move into some stretching. We are done. Whew, we did it. Let's walk our feet about hip distance apart And I'm going to extend one leg out nice and long and draw one knee in towards my chest. Now I can always, instead of doing that, thread one foot through, reaching down with the opposite hand, getting that same intensity or a little bit more of intensity in that hip flexor and quad. I'm going to hug my knee in towards my chest and kind of hold however feels comfortable, either underneath the calf or over the shin, as I rock that leg gently side to side. Breathing and releasing both the quad and doing those lovely hip flexors as well. Whew. And then I'll feel that opposite hip kind of feeling good, kind of feeling that opening. Again, if this is too much for that knee, you can always extend that leg out nice and long. Hugging it in, feeling that nice big release. You can also kind of open it to the side. We're going to extend that bottom leg out if we have it bent. We're going to go into a full body twist. Nice big rotation, feeling that gorgeous opening through the body. Feeling that opening between the hip and the obliques, kind of all the way up to that rib. Just breathing, slowing down our breath. And let's recover back and in. Bending our bottom leg in, I'm going to extend my top leg nice and long. If you want a hamstring stretch, you can always use a towel or something to put over the foot and pull down. But you can also just grab it and you can circle the ankle. Now, if you have a towel around your foot, don't worry about circling the ankle, just pull down and hold. Or you can always just kind of keep that nice kind of flexed position and get the hamstring stretch. You do not have to roll the ankle. I just feel like it feels really nice. But if you are, let's go ahead and reverse it. I'm going to do 10 of each circle, but do however many feels right for you. Just finding that nice big pull in and stretch, nice big hamstring stretch. You can always pull on the foot, intensifying it. Whatever feels good to you, just breathing, finding that space for your own self. Let's figure for that foot, making sure I flex the foot to protect the knee and hug my knee in towards my chest. And again, just taking that nice, deep, slow breath, breathing side to side. Breathing in and out, you can always rock this side to side. Just taking that moment to kind of release those hips. We work those legs pretty hard. With each breath, try to feel the muscles opening up and relaxing. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. And again, you can thread that foot through, or you can extend the leg back out nice and long, but we want that stretch in the hip flexor and quad. And if that feels comfortable, you can thread the other knee up and towards your chest. So just take this stretch wherever feels right for you. Everyone's at a different place. You can hold underneath the calf, over the shin, whatever feels right for you, but watch that shoulder that doesn't go creeping up into the ear. Now I'm rocking my inside knee kind of forward and back, getting a little bit of a massage and a release through those hip flexors and kind of almost into all of those little like small adduction muscles and abduction muscles in the hip. So the muscles that can move my leg in and out. So it should feel almost like a hip release or a little massage. I'm just breathing slowly and I'm using my arm to move my leg. So I'm not like working the muscles as I try to release them. I'm just gonna hug it in and release. Nice slow breath. Let's extend that bottom leg out and supporting that knee, we're gonna take into a twist. Again, feeling that stretch across the hip and glutes. And I feel it between also my rib and my hip as I find that full spine twist. Now I can look kind of either way, but if you want to complete and kind of intensify the spiral, you want to look towards your arm away from the direction you're twisting. This should feel kind of like a full like spiraling and opening through the whole body. Just breathing gently. Let's go ahead and roll back. Bending that bottom leg in, we're going to unfurl that leg. Again, you can get that TheraBand or that towel. You just want to get the hamstring. Your knee can be bent, or just wherever you're at, because every day is a little different. Now, I'm going to circle my ankle for 10 both directions. But again, just do whatever feels good to you. I like this because it kind of flosses out my calves, and I tend to hold a lot of tension there. Just breathing, keeping the shoulders out of the ears. Let's reverse those circles. Just breathing, getting that nice big stretch. It feels so nice. Now again, I'm going to reach my hand over the top, pulling down on my calves, getting that full hamstring stretch. But you do not have to do this. You can always just flex the foot and you'll feel a really similar stretch down that calf. Just getting that nice big reach through the back of the body and back of the leg. Let's figure for that leg, flexing that foot, turning it out, making sure I'm protecting my knee and I'm threading through, kind of hugging my knees in towards my chest. And again, can still hold this or rock side to side. Kind of depends what's going on your low back. If your low back is feeling tight, feel free to give yourself a little bit of a rock. Just breathing gently, feeling the body melt down and into the floor. a little rocking, feeling good. Just take a little time for yourself to release all those muscles. Let's release our legs down. I'm gonna have us flip on over. We're gonna come to laying on our stomach. Now, we did a lot of abs today. I'm gonna open my feet a little wider than hip distance apart, slide my shoulder blades down, and I'm gonna feel like I'm kind of pushing down and army crawling forward to kind of give myself a little bit of a stretch in those abs without loading the low back, especially L5S1, which is that kind of sacral one, so that you want to feel like you're lengthening the spine, pulling space as I release those abdominal muscles. Give myself a little shell stretch, rounding through those abs, dropping the chin to the chest, feeling a little bit of a shoulder stretch. Let's walk our hands over to one side, kind of getting the stretch on the opposite of our side body, breathing gently. Let's walk those hands over to the other side. So if I walk my hands over to the right, I feel that stretch down kind of between the left rib and hip. Just breathing gently, feeling that nice gentle release through the whole body. Back to center and roll all the way up. Interlace our fingers, push up to the ceiling, nice big stretch. And you can always come all the way up so you're kneeling upright if this is too much pressure on your knees to be sitting on your heels. And just a little reach side to side. Round through the spine, separate those shoulder blades. Oh yeah. Reverse it, opening up the chest. Interlace those fingers, reaching back, opening up the chest. Now, if you want, you can always just reach your hands, not separate, like not having them together, but just sort of separating them. Even here, you could just reach the hands up to the ceiling, getting that nice stretch. But otherwise, you're getting that nice big shoulder stretch, breathing through that body, opening up the chest. Let's roll all the way back up, wiggle our fingers. Let's stretch out those forearms. We did lift up a little bit of weights today. Everything's gonna feel a little tight. Make sure you do both sides. And don't put full weight on them. Just keep it kind of gentle. But yeah, well done. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had a good time. Be sure you drink lots of water, get some salt in your diet, and I'll see you again. For more workouts, you can always check out my website, helenawellness.com. Have a wonderful kick-ass day.